This is Tope Rd-Inspection with MTAC Roofing Systems, doing a roof inspection for Rob. Rob, the first thing I'm looking for, since we did have a hailstorm come through the area, is basically the shingle, whether or not it did actually get hit by hail, and whether or not that hail actually did substantial damage. Now, after looking at the roof and the shingles, you're starting to see little specks like that, tiny hail hits. And usually when I press on them, if that hail was big enough, it'll actually impact and it'll break that mat like I was telling you about. This hail was kind of on the smaller scale, so you're not seeing it, but you are seeing little dings, stuff like that. Tiny. I didn't mark all of them up, but if a adjuster came out here, he would mark up a 10 by 10 area. Then he would probably mark up 15 to 20 in that box. Just to confirm that it was hail, I'll mark up this with chalk. You see how big the hail was, a couple big pieces right here, and then a couple very small pieces. Another thing is the paint on this is starting to wear down. You're not starting to see any rust, which is a good thing. But while I'm up here, I'm going over everything for you, just so you're comfortable. Right here, the sealant is starting to wear off these nails. Some of them have already wore off. You can see it. And what happens with these nails is they start rusting. You can see rust forming on that one. Once rust forms on nails, generally they start backing out. Up on this particular roof, you can see nail pops right here, and there's a wasp right beside me. I'll show you over here. The wasp is following me, but you can see right here, nail pops like that, where they low nailed, and now you're starting to see the exposed nail head, and it's completely rusted. Might not be a problem now, might not be a problem a year down the road, but eventually this one nail right here will cause a problem. Going over stuff like this, these are deterioration marks. So probably when this roof was built, maybe this was something wrong with these particular shingles. Maybe they were damaged when they were installed, and now you're starting to see the long-term effects from it. Fiberglass showing. Fiberglass is what makes up a shingle. It's fiberglass, then it's asphalt, and when that asphalt's hot, then the granules are poured onto it. So once you start seeing that fiberglass, that's generally the lifetime of the shingle, and you're starting to see it on these few shingles right here. Marked up your turtle vent, or this is just a ventilation vent somewhere. It's ventilating something. Rusted nail heads on here. This one's a little thicker, not seeing any soft metal. And I marked up a couple nail pops, low nails. Same thing with this one. You are starting to see some rust on here, which could become a problem. Might not be a problem now, but definitely could become a problem. Same thing with that one. Your pipe boots here, what happens with these, you got rusted nail heads. So what I do is I always nail inch out and inch up, so those nails don't have any water flowing directly to them. However, you can see these were nailed closer to the ends, so water can get up under there and then back that nail up. Another thing that I point out is that your UV collars, your pipe boot should have a UV collar over it. These don't, so 15 years down the road, what happens is they start dry rotting, they start ripping just like you see right there. I would suggest having a UV collar put on this. You can see how the paint's starting to chip and it's starting to get dry rot right there. The boot itself will actually hold, but the rubber piece will not. Across your ridges, exposed nail heads. I did want to mention this. Flashing right here, so they put like a pest control, or they put something right here. However, what you're seeing right here is exposed decking. There's no drip edge, which is a code nowadays. You have to have drip edge and gutter apron on a roof to get by through code if your roof is built to code. But since there's no drip edge on here, what you're starting to see is the edge of that decking is starting to become rotted all the way up. This one's already rotted here. It's pretty hard to get back in there and put drip edge, but it can be done. Flashing on this side is okay. Wood is starting to chip there. I looked at your flashing on your chimney. It is stepped properly. And we'll see. I'll try not to make this video go into 10 minutes, but if we can wrap it up in 6 minutes, that'd be great. Right here, this is a pretty big problem that I've seen. So no drip edge on this side either. And again, what you see from that is the edge of your sheathing starts rotting. But this whole piece of wood right here, all the way down, is coming undone. And you can see it. And then there's another little spot right there where pests can just get right up in there. I don't do vinyl, but I definitely could close that gap up right there, no problem. Only problem that I see with this is if water gets behind there, that step flashing, I don't know if I can put it up under there, but that step flashing, can become a big problem and can allow water to intrude into the house. Another thing that I would have done with this roof is, instead of putting these valleys overlaying on this slope, I would have overlaid the valleys onto this slope, because there's going to be more water flow on this one. Again, like I said when I was talking to you earlier, I would suggest filing a claim if you could see hail damage all over the place. However, I'm not seeing any hail damage on the ridges. Ridges are going to be the first shingles that actually show the biggest signs of hail. Not seeing it up here. Then just another thing that I seen while I was up here is your gutter guards. Some of them are starting to bow inwards. I don't know if it's because debris in there. Like right over there, you can see the gutter guards are bowing in. Over here, you got it happening too, right there. So that's pretty much what I've seen. They did this valley right. They overlaid it on the lower slope. That's how it should be. You got some debris backing up right at that splash guard. But I'm showing you all the things that if I was a homeowner, I would be concerned about if I didn't already know how it should be, or what to expect as far as maintenance and as far as damage. Rob, I'll get down, I'll show you this video, and we'll go from there.